So, hi everyone. Again, I am Miss Lee, your science teacher, and I will be discussing for the first video yung module na binigay ko sa inyo. And we will have this video every now and then para mas maintindihan ninyo at maunawaan ninyo yung mga modules na ibinibigay ko para sa inyo. Okay? So, as we start this module, let me share the screen with you. Okay. So, for our first topic, we have here the Earth and space. Okay, so we will be discussing about Earth and space, but we will be focusing, of course, about the Earth. So, for this video, this will be divided into 3 lessons. So, we have for the lesson number 1, describe the distribution of active volcanoes, earthquake epicenters, and major mountain belts. For the second one, we need to infer the relationship of tectonic plates, earthquake epicenter, and active volcanoes. And for the last one, of course, we need to relate the distribution of active volcanoes and earthquake epicenters and major mountain belts to plate tectonic theory. Okay, so of course, as we go on through this module, we have expectation, okay? And we have a goal, of course. So first, you need to describe the distribution of active volcanoes, epicenters or earthquake epicenters, and major mountain belts. And then for the next one, enumerate the different geologic process or events that occur from the different boundary. Third one, determine the scientific basis for dividing the lithospheric plates. And then for the fourth one, relate hotspot with tectonic plate. Okay, so for this one, or for this expectation, of course, for us to meet this later, I will explain this one by one. Okay, so you can have it while I'm talking here, pwede kayong mag-take down notes, pwede nyo isulat yung mga importanteng sasabihin ko. Okay, now let's have lesson number 1 for this video. Okay, so we have here Earth and space. Let's have the definition first. Earth and space is the interconnection of land, ocean, atmosphere, and the life of Earth itself. Okay, so ibig sabihin, ang Earth natin, everything that is in the Earth is connected with one another. Connected si ocean kay atmosphere, connected ang buhay sa bawat isa, connected ang water cycle, ang carbon cycle, rock cycle, and so on. Okay? So everything that we can see around us or in the environment is connected with one another. Okay. Of course, later on, we'll try to figure out kung paano naging connected sa isa't isa. Okay. But as we proceed with this, let me show you first the layers of the Earth para mas maging malawak pa or magkaroon tayo ng background about this study. Okay. So I have here the picture of the Earth. Okay, so we have here the inner core, the outer core, the orange one, the red one, inner core, or yung pinakagitna niya sa pinakaloob. And then the outer core, the orange one, the mantle, and then the crust. Okay? So, hindi naman na natin siya i-discuss ngayon isa-isa or kung ano yung temperature nila, ano yung chemical substance nila. What is important here is we need to figure out the layers of the Earth. Okay? So, now let's move on. So, we have here the picture or the outer picture of the Earth representation. Okay, so let's have this one first. Crust and upper mantle is made up of Earth's lithosphere. Earth lithosphere is made up of different tectonic plates that move slowly over time. Okay, so what we are going to talk about is all about the lithosphere. Okay, and for the lithosphere, it is made up of crust and upper mantle. Kaya pinakita ko muna sa inyo yung layer of the Earth. Okay? So we have here the crust and then the upper mantle. Okay? Crust and then the upper mantle. That is for the lithosphere. Okay? Again, Earth lithosphere is made up of different tectonic plates that move slowly over time. So how are we going to explain this? Ang lithosphere ay para siyang puzzle. Okay? When we say plates, so plates is just like a puzzle in the surface of the Earth. Sabihin yung land natin, that's a different tectonic plates. Pag sinabi din nating plates, yun yung bumubuo sa crust natin or sa lithosphere natin. Okay? So we'll talk about it more. So now let's have first the definition of, for the plate boundary. Okay? This is a theory which suggests that Earth's crust is made up of plates that interact in various ways, thus producing earthquakes, mountains, volcanoes, and other geologic features. So for the plate boundary, that is the Earth's crust. Yung sinasabi ko kanina, yung plate boundary natin, yun yung bumubuo sa Earth crust. Okay? It is a series of plates that interact in various ways. When we say interact, magkakaroon tayo ng different kind of plate movement. Okay? And what are the three different kind of plate movement or boundaries? So we have here three main types of plate boundaries or margin. So first we have the divergent, convergent, and then transform. And of course, we're going to talk about it one by one and give example what are the geologic event that may happen kapag yung mga plates na to ay gumalaw. So parang ganito yung plates. Okay? Para siyang puzzle na bumubuo sa Earth's crust. Okay? Ganyan. So first, let's have divergent. Divergent boundary occurs when two tectonic plates move away from each other. Ibig sabihin, dalawang plate naghiwalay. Okay, I will show you a picture later. Along these boundaries, earthquakes are common. So, kapag nangyari yan, naghiwalay ang lupa, of course, we may feel some shaking, we may feel a plate movement. Okay, kaya ako kapag lumilindol, I didn't call it just an earthquake, but I call it as my plate movement kasi gumalaw yung plate. Okay? So we call it also as earthquake. So kapag nangyari yan, of course, earthquake may happen. And of course, magma or the molten rock rises from the Earth's mantle to the surface, solidifying to create new oceanic crust. Okay, so paano nangyari yun? So let me show you a picture. So this arrow represents the divergent. Okay? Divergent boundary or yung paghihiwalay, balikan natin definition. Two tectonic plates move away from each other. So let's say this is the two plate, okay? And then they move away from each other. So diba eventually, halimbawa, if you can see my video or my hand, kapag itong dalawang plate naghiwalay, divergent, diba? Maghihiwalay with one another, nasabi doon, magma and molten rock may arise. So kung nasa ocean tayo, under the sea, di ba sa dagat, kahit gaano kalalim ang dagat, meron tayong tinatawag na seafloor or oceanic crust. Okay? Kahit gaano kalalim yan, feeling natin wala na tayong maapakan, pero meron pa rin siyang seafloor. Okay? So kapag naghiwalay yan, yung under the sea natin, na, or what you call this, yung oceanic crust natin, of course, diba, let's say eventually may earthquake na nangyari, naghiwalay, molten rock will arise para yung naghiwalay na land, ma-fill out niya. Okay? Just like the picture that we have here. So yung arrow up natin, let's say, nagkakaroon ng bagong seafloor dito. Sabi dyan, di ba? Magma or molten rock rises from Earth's mantle to the surface, solidifying to create new oceanic crust. So, ibig sabihin, kapag may nangyaring divergent, naghiwalay ang dalawang plate away from each other at may nag-arise na bagong magma or may nag-arise na magma, magkakaroon ng bagong oceanic crust. Siyempre, hindi naman to nabubutas lang, kundi napapalitan siya or nagkakaroon ng bagong seafloor or oceanic crust. Okay? So let's move on now. Next, we have convergent boundary. It occurs when two tectonic plates come together. So, ang pinagkaiba niya kay divergent, kung si divergent naghihiwalay, si convergent naman, they come together. So, pwedeng nag-uumpugan or nagkabanggaan yung dalawang lupa. Okay? I will show you a picture then later. The plate which is denser will sink. When we say the word denser, yung plate na mas mabigat will sink pailalim and will form a trench. And the other plate, which is less dense, will crumple and form a mountain ranges. So doon pala nanggagaling ang mga mountain ranges sa convergent. Okay? Again, I will show you a picture later. An island arc, a volcano. It will form a mountain ranges, an island arc, and a volcanoes. It also caused a tremendous earthquake that may produce a tsunami if the earthquake happened under the ocean. So, ganito pala siya, class. Si convergent boundary, ito yung picture niya. Yan, si convergent. Okay. So, what can we say or what can we infer about this land that goes down? Ibig sabihin, siya yung denser, di ba? Meron tayo dito. The plate which is denser will sink. So this plate is denser than this plate. Ayan. Etong pababa. Okay. This plate, let me have this laser. This plate is denser than the other plate. So as we say a while ago, so mas mabigat siya, and then what will happen to the less dense? Sa less dense, siya yung nagka-crumple. So kapag nag-crumple siya, so syempre, di ba na nag-crumple dito sa part na to. Nagkakaroon ng mountain ranges and then volcanic arc. Okay? Siya yung dahilan kung bakit nagkakaroon ng volcanic arc or mountain ranges. And what's worse about this? Kapag nangyari ang convergent under the ocean, it may form tsunami. Okay, kasi nag-umpugan yung dalawang lupa sa ilalim ng dagat. So pag nag-umpugan yan, eventually, it may form a big wave and cause a tsunami to the land. Okay, papunta dito. Okay, now let's move on. So now, for the last boundary, we have the transform plate boundary. It occurs when two tectonic plates sliding past each other. This type of boundary usually creating a linear fault valley or undersea canyon. Earthquakes are also produced along this fault. So of course, this transform plate gives us earthquake as well. So sabihin, lahat ng movement, it's either divergent, convergent, transform, all of them is a plate movement, and of course, it will give us earthquake. Okay, so yun yung pagkakapare-pareho nila. Pero ang pinagkaiba nilang tatlo, ulitin natin, if you will see my hand, or hands rather, si divergent, paghihiwalay, si convergent, pagsalubong or yung ilalim ng isang plate, and then kay transform naman, sliding with one another. Okay, now let's have an example here. Yan. So this is an example of transform plate boundary. Sliding with one another. Okay, so of course, kapag nag-slide sa part na to, eventually, mag-form na naman or magkakaroon ng earthquake. Okay, so nangyayari siya again sa lithosphere na area. So Earth's crust and mantle. So for that one, we have again the three movement or the three plate boundary. We have again recall um, divergent, convergent, and the transform. Balikan natin yung picture. Divergent, convergent, and then the transform. Okay. So what's more about this? Places on Earth where most of the earthquakes originated or some mountains and volcanoes were formed mark the boundaries of each lithospheric plate. Okay? Earthquake epicenters outline the plates. Mid-ocean, ridges, trenches, and large faults mark the edges of the plates, and this is where earthquake occur. Okay? So we have right here what we call fault line. Yan, yung isa sa common na ginagamit natin, may mga fault line. Okay, and for the unlocking of terms, when we say hotspot, it is a concentration of heat in the mantle capable of creating magma. Like sinabi natin hotspot, di ba? Ayun yung mga nagkikreate ng magma na galing sa mga pumuputok na vulkan. Okay? Subduction, a geological process that takes place at convergent boundary of tectonic plate when one or where one plate moves under another. Pag sinabi natin subduction sa Tagalog, yung isa yung pag-ilalim ng isang plate. Di ba sabi natin, umiilalim ang isang plate kapag denser yung plate na yon. Okay, now trench. Trench is a depression in the seafloor produced by subduction process. Yung trench naman, yun yung pagbaba din. Okay? Volcanic island arc is a chain of volcanoes that develop parallel to a trench. So, yung picture na pinakita ko sa inyo dito kanina, yan, yung volcanic arc, yung sunod na mga kabundukan dahil sa pag-crumple nitong part ng lithosphere. Okay, so that's all for our first video. If you have questions, you may chat me personally. And I do hope that from this lesson, from this video, you are now able to answer every activities in your modules. So that's all. Goodbye.